Hey everyone, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And welcome back to another color class. And today's color class is Bridgerton. Okay, so we know there's a season 3 coming out soon, and it's all about the wallflower Penelope. So we had to grab what we could. I'm not going to say we had an abundance of dresses to pick from. I really was just like, we were digging through the trailer for season 3 and some old photos of her, which... You know, it's great, but I'm excited.
This is her story.
Right. I'm excited to see what's to come. So we'll probably have to do a second video on when it actually comes out and we can do a dive into everything. But to start off, we're going to go through some of the basics to figure out what's her season.
What's her season?
Yeah.
And it's harder than you think with this particular young lady, because you look at her red hair and you think, oh yeah, autumn probably.
But it's like brighter in some season or some scenes.
What made it particularly difficult is the show aesthetic.
Right.
Because in the show aesthetic, like I don't know if you followed Bridgerton, you guys, but we did. And the aesthetic for the first Bridgerton, it was that Bridgerton blue, and everything was kind of built around the Bridgerton blue. This season, based on the limited photographs that we can find, is different, and it's almost like a pale Easter colors kind of deal. And I don't get that, but you'll see. We're going to move into it.
When we were diving into photos that we could find, it was really hard because we noticed that the way they were filming was very softened versus the colors that we saw in actual light, like behind the scene photos.
We went on Pinterest to see if we can find some backstage shots or some shots that were not part of the film.
Right.
And the film itself, the dresses had this hazy quality to them. However, when we looked at the backstage photos, they were all more vivid than they appeared in the filming.
The actual dresses were more vivid than what we saw on screen. So now it's like we're questioning everything we see. But with Penelope, we see this vibrant red hair. So now I'm like, how vibrant is this red hair?
And I should say that in other Bridgertons and now in this Bridgerton to a degree, Penelope and her family were gauche. They were presented as kind of over the top, tacky, whereas all these other Bridgerton people were just perfectly elegant and gorgeous.
The family. They wanted to make that distinction.
They did, and they did a great job at it. But now that this is Penelope's story and she's the romantic heroine, then what they had to do was figure out a way to tone that back. And you're going to see what we saw. It was a challenge.
Right.
The movie, based on what I'm seeing here, is not as aesthetically breathtaking as Bridgerton 1.
Well, let's take a look at Penelope in these. I mean, there's a theme. Penelope in yellow is very much a theme in this show. But we're not just talking any yellow. It's a cool yellow. It's a citrusy.
Acid yellow.
Right.
Almost.
It's just, if we look at different colors of yellows or different shades of yellow, you have like the gold autumny color yellow, and then you have the spring yellow, which is a little bit brighter but still has some warmth in there, and then you move into summer and winter and it's like this citrusy acid color.
If you look at the color wheel, yellow is a primary color, and it sits pretty much between red and blue.
Right.
And so you extend that out, and the far side of yellow is orange, right? It moves into the golds and the oranges, the really warm colors.
Yeah.
But if you extend it out toward the blue, you hit green, which is the combination of yellow and blue. And on that green side, we say it's cool. I mean, you may be sitting there thinking, how can yellow be cool? It is the absolute, warmth.
Yeah.
But what we're saying is it is like an unripe lemon. Think of it that way.
Right, where it's changing from green to yellow.
Exactly. And that's what we saw.
And that's what she's been put in this whole time, which is not great. For lack of a better word, it's just not her best.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate.
Right. And I know that they're doing this on purpose. I know that they're getting a point across. So we see her a lot in this color. We see a lot of different yellow gowns. But this season, in the previews that we've seen, the trailers, we start seeing a little bit of a combination or some mixtures of some colors, but they all tend to be soft. The images that we're looking at, the 3 on the right are from what's coming up. The one on the left was from a past season. I just had to plop this in here because look how cool all of these colors are. And it's making her go a bit gray. Her skin tone looks a bit gray. And we know Penelope has this vibrant red hair, but everything is going gray on her.
However, one thing to notice when you look at that pink dress in the left side, that is representative of the gaucheness, the almost tackiness of her the Featherington family. And notice that once Penelope starts having relationships with men, that all that frou-frou kind of gets toned down and she becomes less tacky.
Right. These gowns are stunning. The color is not there. And we're talking about this in a color way and not so much in, a style or that style or era. But these colors, they're just way too cool for Penelope. I mean, we can see that. Her skin tone's going gray. Look under her eyes in that middle photo. They look gray. It's not complementary to her hair color either. It's just sitting there. And honestly, we do know a lot of times the costume design is an important factor and they want these costumes to stand out because there's awards based off costumes, there's awards based off styling. So some of the times they do this to really make it stand out. And
the cinematography,
right.
When it's calculated like this, they will use certain colors to make the scene.
Right.
However, I think it's really important to make your leading lady look her very best.
Well, so we started to see some changes. Big moment of her like walking down the stairs in the trailer. And of course, Colin is standing at the bottom like, oh, she's so, that moment. She's in this dress on the right, this green.
And this is the first time he actually takes notice of her as a female. She's his good friend.
We haven't seen the season 3 yet.
But it was set up for that
moment. Yeah, of course. I'm going to call this one the peacock dress. And on the left, we have a soft coral.
Apricot.
Oh, apricot. That's a really good name for it. Yeah. So we see her in some autumn colors in the previews. And I'm like, okay, these are getting better.
Yes.
They're better.
But you were still disturbed.
Right. Her hair just, it's not there. It's just, these dresses look a little bit too heavy on her. The green is just too deep. And the apricot.
Well, I think the green is deep. And I mean, it's plenty deep. I think it's too blue. It's got
that too.
But it's just because it's so
and
cool.
She's wearing black gloves. I mean, it's just
not there.
It's too harsh for her.
But better than what we had seen in all the photos from earlier scenes in this movie.
And then this apricot color, I'm like, okay, this isn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
This is getting there. This is definitely getting there. Her hair still doesn't seem as vibrant. It's a soft color and her hair is still just standing out. It's just, there's something not quite harmonious about this look.
Yeah. From everything I've seen, her hair is brighter than this makes her look.
Mm-hmm. And of course, so we did some digging. We're like, man, finding Penelope. So the last season that we haven't ruled out yet is a spring. And we're like, we need to find her in some spring colors.
And we looked.
And we looked.
And we looked.
And that's where we found out, like, the colors that are on screen are definitely not what is shown in real life. The images that we've seen, like the backstage photos, And we're starting to see a little bit more vibrancy in those pictures, but we're like, that's not what's on screen.
But we didn't find it.
Right. So, of course, we had to edit for you because we could not find her in a good spring color. And we know she's warm. We know she's got this beautiful, warm hair. Her skin tone does lean a bit cool, but, that can be adjusted with a really well done attire, and her hair cascading down, it will adjust her skin tone to be a bit warmer. So we just had to adjust her dress. And the dress that on the left here is the best dress we could kind of find. It was the warm,
but
warmiest.
It wasn't bright. It was
soft. So what do? We brighten it up to fit within a spring palette.
We edited it digitally.
And here we have 3 colors that would be within a spring palette. Now, I know we did not adjust her hair. We did not adjust her makeup. And I know wearing the actual color would have given it more punch. It would have made it warmer, her skin tone warmer. But this just goes to show you, even if you just change the dress color, look how stunning these look on her. The hair gives the vibrancy. The skin tone goes a bit warmer. Even her lip color. Look how good her lip color looks now.
She looks like she has lip color. And what I think, I am heavily into color illusions and optically what we see versus what's really there. Look at how creamy her skin looks, particularly in the blue, even compared to the other bright colors. When we set off her skin tone with the spring blue, it looks so just perfect, luscious, and it's just beautiful.
Now, some of the adjustments I would have made, though, me being somebody who can kind of switch between seasons because I have cool skin tone, cool brows, but very warm hair, I'm kind of in this boat a little bit with her. Warm up the skin tone. Bronzer, even some drops of a warmer foundation would have really helped pull this look together. It looks like she has a cool-ish brow, so maybe warming it up a little bit. It's hard to tell here.
Her hair, though, one of the things we have to apologize for is, given everything we saw, her hair is a brighter shade of red than is represented here. This is moving toward auburn. So you are going to have to use your imaginations a little bit because we didn't want to change anything but the dress.
Right.
But the lighting here is such that it tones down the vibrancy of her hair color.
It's in a dark room. It was taken from a preview. So, it's not the best lighting.
But knowing that her hair is actually, in fact, brighter red than this, the balance, it makes the balance a little bit better because she needs a brighter color in order to balance that red.
So far what we see, we believe spring is going to be her best option. Now, we do want to wait for the actual season 3 to come out so we can see more dresses, see more gowns, get a better idea instead of just having to get we had like a minute of a preview of snippets of her. And it's so hard to just pull from that.
Not to mention that we want your input on this.
Yes.
We would like you to look at everything that we showed you and not only tell us what season you think she is, tell us which color dress in this last grouping where we actually edited the dress. Which one do you like best?
Well, it's funny because we did all 3 of these and we were trying to figure out which one to use in the show as the spring color. And then, of course, we're like, let's just do all 3 and ask you guys because we were trying, the green looks good.
In a way.
Right.
In a certain way. Yeah.
And then the pink looks good with
because everything blends together.
Right, her lips look really good in the pink, and then the blue, her skin tone looks good.
Yeah, her skin just looks so luscious and creamy there.
Right, so we were...
So what's your favorite?
Yeah, if you guys could comment down below which one of these is your favorite, please let us know, because we were trying to figure it out too. I cannot wait. I love Bridgerton.
Yeah, she's a super fan.
I'm very excited. I cannot... Oh, we're going to have so many amazing videos when the full thing comes out of Bridgerton. The gowns are amazing. The colors are incredible. It's not like the show where everything's just like muted and toned down. Oh, I can't wait.
It's exciting. I question, and something that we're going to need to answer in future videos, whether they can do as brilliant a job with the cinematography. Like in Bridgerton 1, the interior scenes, just beautiful. And that Bridgerton blue that kept showing up. Now, they've said in some reading that I've done that where the Bridgerton blue was the aesthetic and the first Bridgerton, yellow.
I know yellow is your least favorite color.
Yeah, I'd just be happy for it to just fall right off the color wheel. But they say that yellow is the aesthetic, and what they're using the color for, and this is interesting for you guys who are as crazy about color as I am in all aspects. My original degree was in set design. So
coming from the person who's talking about sets of Bridgerton, set design.
Well, yeah. And what they've said is they're using the costumes here, the yellow in the costumes. Penelope was famous throughout all of the Bridgertons for wearing yellow dresses with her crazy family.
Right.
And now they're putting more characters into the yellow to signify that she is being accepted into this place. She was always an outcast before, but she's starting to work her way in. And I thought that was kind of we will see if it works.
Right.
But I thought it was an interesting sort of approach. But I don't know if it's going to come off, because I have a personal prejudice. I just don't like yellow. I think it's hard for people to wear. And I think you have to be within a very narrow kind of space of how you look in order to wear yellow brilliantly or beautifully. And because it's harder for human flesh to look good against yellow, we're going to see how that aesthetic plan works.
Right, so don't forget to like and subscribe. We would love to bring you not only along our Bridgerton journey, but our color analysis journey as well. And lastly, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And this has been another color class, and we'll see you in the next video.